Shalom. First, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh by Hashem Wakar Kadash Rakatah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutation to the leg Akim out there pushing the word of truth with sincerity. In this video, gonna be about an article that I had seen on Blacklisted News. Speaking on how the government will calm the people if it's a nuclear attack. Something got on me the spirit got on me to do an article on this video on this article on the site called blacklistednews.com. But the title is here's how the government will calm the public if a nuclear attack occurs. Which he's not gonna do that because the scriptures say otherwise, because this is gonna be a day like no other day. It's gonna be the day when the Lord come back, There's no other explosion. People have seen gunshots. People have seen probably a grenade or a firecracker, but you haven't seen a nuclear missile. And a fucking grenade will scare you, and the damage it will do to you. So ain't nobody gonna be calm. But we gonna get into this and see what Esau say, and then I'm gonna get into some scriptures and close it out. But read on an article. The government has already prepared some scripts to use on the terrified public should the United States ever be attacked with a nuclear weapon. The U.S. government prepares for all sorts of threats, but none match the pomp and circumstance they'll display in the event of a nuclear explosion. Prepared scripts for many disaster scenarios are already written, ranging from biowarfare and chemical weapons to volcanoes and wildfires. The good news is that the Cold War is over and limited nuclear strike or a terrorist attack can be survivable. A direct hit notwithstanding. But yeah, of course you could survive a nuclear attack. But look, that's only for the rich. That's only for the rich. And how they gonna survive? By getting nuclear bunkers. And them bitches run 5 mil, 30 mil. That's only for the upper class. Most of us in this society is in the lower class, so we can't afford that. So you ain't got nowhere to go. You can't afford no bunker. Yeah, it can be survived only by the bunker, but y'all ain't got one. But continuing on, the bad news is that the government's plans for survivor don't really include you anyway. Couple that with the new arms race, which is already underway, albeit shrouded in secrecy, and one that may add small portable nuclear weapons to global stockpile. Lawmakers and experts fear such tactical or battlefield-ready devices and their parts may be easier for terrorists to obtain via theft or sale. And even a small nuclear weapon on the ground can create a stadium-sized fireball, unleash a city-crippling blast wave, and sprinkle radioactive fallout hundreds of miles away. Damn, they said even a small nuclear weapon, meaning a pocket nuke or something, on the ground can create a stadium-sized fireball, unleash a city-crippling blast wave, and sprinkle radioactive fallout hundreds of miles away. And look, that's just a small one. The Lord coming with 200 million big nuclear missiles the size of, like, I guess you could say, a fucking tree. They be toting them bitches as long as like 3 buses, coming down them. So yeah, it's going to be some fear. It ain't no comment. But continuing on, see what he got to say. It said, terrorist use of an actual nuclear bomb is a low probability event, but the immensity of the consequences mean that even a small chance is enough to justify an intensive effort to reduce the risk. The bulletin of the atomic scientist said in a September 2017 article, which outlines what might happen after terrorists detonate a cool device that used a 10-kiloton near Hiroshima-sized explosion in a city. That's all I'm gonna get on that. But you see how they no, Salakia. It's more on that. I ain't feel like reading it, but it's important, so I'm gonna read more on it. According to Business Insider, a nuclear terrorist attack of this magnitude is one of the 15 major disaster scenarios planned for by FEMA and other agencies. The same scenario also includes a dirty bomb explosion. Things such an event will be dramatically less harmful. A part of the planning effort, the Environmental Protection Agency maintains a series of manuals about how state and local governments should respond. A companion document anticipates 99 likely questions during a radiation emergency and scripted messages that officials can copy or adapt. Ideally, these messages never will be needed, the EPA says in this messaging document. Nevertheless, we are responsible to be prepared to empower the public by effectively communicating how people can protect themselves and their family in the event of a radiological or nuclear emergency. Lives been lost. People lives have been lost. People have been injured, and homes and business have been destroyed. All levels of government are coordinating their efforts to do everything possible to help the people affected by this emergency. As life-saving activities continue, following the instructions from the emergency responders. The instructions are based on the best information we have right now. The instruction will be updated as more information becomes available. Which I don't see what they gonna do. They're gonna tell you to get down and grab your head like they told them back then. And I think it was in Hiroshima. No, that ain't gonna do nothing. It burns your skin. It's gonna consume your flesh, man. The elements gonna melt with fervent heat. But we gonna see if Esau. If y'all gonna be common that day, because y'all not gonna be common. That's the day of the Lord, the Creator. Yahweh gonna send His Son Yahweh Shah back, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna see if Esau gonna comfort y'all, because the Lord says, surely, truly in vain the salvation hope for from the hills and the mountains. And also he said, neither is there any that could deliver out of his hand. He killed, he won't even make alive, for quote verbatim. So ain't no government gonna save you, and you gonna be terrified because you know you was wicked for those who won't get right. Isaiah chapter 2 verse 19. But I'm gonna read this to see what it's describing the day of the Lord like. What y'all gonna be like? It said, and they should go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord, for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. You know? That's them rocks and them caves is talking about the the nuclear vaults. Like your vaults, your nuclear vaults, your little small ones, big ones, those for the upper class. Not talking about you lower class, you know. And that day, and it say, in that day, a man should cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they make each one for himself to worship to the moles of the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks and on the tops of the rocks for fear of the Lord. Do it say comfort? No, for fear of the Lord and the glory of his majesty, when he rises to shake terribly the earth, man. You say ain't no escaping, man. Reading another scripture, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and out of peace. As ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loin, as a woman in travail, and all faces turned into paleness. Meaning you gonna be stuck like one of them type feelings. You just gonna be stuck, like hold on, because you're gonna be getting burnt, man, by nuclear missiles. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 6. How ye for the day of the Lord is at hand, it should come as a destruction from the Almighty. How ye? How ye? Not sleep you will be comfort. No, it's how ye, because that day is gonna be great. Esau not gonna comfort you. You're not going into a vault. Might as well get right so you can get under the spiritual ark right now, so the Lord can come get you in the chariot. But y'all not, so y'all gonna get burned. You're not gonna get comfort. Therefore shall all hands be faint, every man's heart shall melt, and they should be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They should be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They should be amazed at one another. Their faces should be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both of wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners out of it, man. That don't sound like y'all gonna be comforted to me, But I'm gonna get this last scripture, and I'm gonna end it off. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this should be the plague where the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh should consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes should consume away in their holes, and their tongues should consume away in their mouth. Not they will sleep away, their eyes shall consume away in their no. He says it's gonna consume away in your mouth, like you're just gonna get devoured by fire. You're not gonna be comforted. Truly in vain is salvation hopeful from the mountains, man. But and the Lord, man. You know what? Let me get that, man. Let me get that. Because Esau can't save you. Bear with me. I got it right here. Hold up. I'm gonna end it off on this. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. Yeah, that could proving that there ain't no escaping and there ain't, you can't go to Esau for help. Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 23. And keep it in mind, these hills is small governments. These mountains is talking about higher governments, just like America. Small governments would be like North Korea, Iran, and shit like that. Jeremiah 3 and 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our God, Yahweh Bashmi outside salvation of Israel, man. So go to Yahweh Bashmi outside, not them governments, because they're not going to help you. You know, because the Lord said Egypt will be your shame. Don't go there, it's going to be your shame. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 9, man. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound, I hear, and neither is there any that could deliver out of my hand. So even Esau can deliver you out. So man, come back to the Lord, you know. If you want to read this article, it's on blacklistednews.com. You know, the title is "Here is How the Government Will Calm the Public If a Nuclear Attack Occurs." You know, which they won't. You know, come to the Lord, because he that abideth under the secret shadow of the Almighty should be quiet from the fear of evil. What's that? Secret shadow? Wisdom. With that, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, B'Kar Barakatah, and double honors to the apostles, the elders of great millstone, peace, love, and salutation to the lad I come out there, push you the water with sincerity. Shalom. And the secret shadow is wisdom and the spirit. Get in it while the getting's good. Shalom.